Door is closed. This door can...
Yes? What do you want to know? Good.
No response. He's having trouble processing it. A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports...
What about me? Good. Let's change the subject.
The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and...
Yes, I am. I know.
Here's the real deal.
It's hard to tell whether he's sarcastic or sincere, but if you had to guess, you would say the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
I'm definitely not the cavalry. I don't know. I mean, why would I want... No, you haven't wronged me. Okay, fine. Let's...
What does one talk about with a fellow?
What precinct?
Am I from? God.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation.
I don't...
Don't say anything, Judith. Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses and a fucking wig.
Okay.
I'm just looking out for...
You?
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
Yes. A policewoman who just wants to do a...
Something about the man with sunglasses and you. The energy between you two.
You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor. Yeah, I know.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough...
It's not just this week.
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar, but different. He might be wearing a disguise. You know what it is. It's like the two of you know.
Oh, I definitely...
Another life.
Yes, from another life. A different life. To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality? Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good.
I'm not getting in.
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. Oh boy, they're mad at him. No wonder. He just doesn't recognize them.
Yes, it's a hobby of mine.
As if waiting for some kind of reaction or response.
Okay. Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? No, because in this thought experiment we are police officers in a police station.
Come on, stop it.
Oh no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crime.
This isn't helping.
You're not going to believe... Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant. Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little...
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just...
He's trying to protect you from further... Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at...
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of...
About what? You don't look like a cop. You know what you look like? Not the prophet shit again. No. 'Cause it's not my job. Why don't you go and fucking do yours and solve this damn hanging? Actually, I don't want to.
Come on, Jean.
Okay, say things. I want.
Hear that? He wants you. Suddenly, out of nowhere, case-related things start popping up in your head.
So, do you know who hanged him? Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. What?
It's like you felt it would be intellectually stimulating and would lead. Who knows why we do the things we do? Somehow bouncing.
Oh my god, there's more. You want something more? Watch out for you.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
Oh really? I wonder where. That's the where you remember me from? Okay then. It's probably a coincidence.
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Yes, just cross it.
Again? I can't believe... I'm going to say no. Just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? Okay?
Jean. He said okay.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind.
Can I help you?
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why?
It's you again. What is it? A bullet, you say? That's mighty.
Indeed, mighty. How?
Well, there are so many bullets.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
Sire, it would be an event most dramatic if you were to produce the bullet and dangle it before their very eyes.
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence!
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
All the goofing around is to avoid lying. They're only pretending to enjoy this. Beneath the act, they don't like you know.
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk.
No, he meant before he was hanged.
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened.
Never been worried in my life.
It's not like he blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there, somewhere.
It's you again. What is it?
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out, you believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was...
Huh? You got a problem with beer now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
You saying we don't help people? I've been doing this job for 10...
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere.
Congratulations on the graffito removal. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it.
You wanna help her, cop? If you don't, if you question her, harass her, afraid...
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit.
Shit. The girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop.
Sure. Why not? You've probably seen her around.
You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name. With your eyes...
I don't understand what's so cool here.
Nothing. We just...
Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup.
Remember what I said. Freight train of pain. Yeah, by friends, you mean his...
Wouldn't want to beat up his grandma.
Goddamn right, it's nothing.
It's probably more like 2,000 or 3,000.
Officer, what was that? Yes. Yes. The victim? Is there something I should know?
Whatever you do, don't say the first thing.
So she overheard you, or did...
So this is what it feels like to be interviewed. I wouldn't say it is.
Anything else? Understood. You were not in good shape on Monday. Okay, that's manageable. That's clearly your interrogation technique. Anything else? We'll be all right, officer. This...
You feel fortified by his assurance. Is it, though? Nothing? You're...
Everything's still cool here. The shine on these sunglasses lasts a...
A rusting control panel with loose... You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the water lock starts moving.
Alright, we can go to the coast now. Expect rugged terrain and drunks.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice and electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a...
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented. Somewhere in the dark, an electric sizzle, something close to you.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brow. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in a diagram for summoning some time forgotten. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic. Your flashlight slides over an old green tree. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out these lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkin, translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin. Who are all those creatures? You should adopt one of those welkins as your... One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears. It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all the Haldor, the Tuorg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for... This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All God. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlement. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers. Boreal Dvorg. Yurts, albeit dark and cold. This vision also feels cozy in its own way. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimum. It looks a bit like an academic. Minimi stands for a mini meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer.
Looks like they didn't make it.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out through. The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new..."
Okay, what do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only...
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to... Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Connection...
Not in Revachol West.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology. Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love...
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good.
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but... It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay, let's keep moving.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. Yes, yes?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
But what else did you find? Did anything survive?
You don't have anything of substance to tell her until you found that entity of her.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis. I'm fine. Fine.
You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan.
I'm no one. If you could call it living. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and...
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying.
What's he in trouble for? Talk?
What was so funny?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
Ask away, policeman. The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She leaves an old lady to have...
She mumbles some kind of a response. You hear someone walking around inside. Rearrange. The walking stops abruptly. You can feel tension on the... Sounded like a woman. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is big.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not...
Let's go. We don't have a reason.
It's generally easier to do a poor communard, from the looks of it. This door has been closed with a padlock. It's a solid lump of metal, but the better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. No reply. What happened here? It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, indeed. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, the shackle snaps like a twig.
After you, detective.
The note is written with a blue pen.
Does it say anything interesting?
This is tangential at best, but someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. Sully Swaff.
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. That's a plausible hypothesis. It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its memory. It's like a tape. You listen to disco tapes, right? It's like one of your disco tapes. Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Didn't you see one right next to the breaker box? The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag. Beside his orderly handwriting, the bullet looks especially sad, like a tiny...
What? Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say, find the weapon that shot me. If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
The squashed bullet has some sharp... You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets only. The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal... You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. It's quite destroyed. Some of the...
What can you say about the bullet so far? A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle.
Highly unusual. The people of Revachol...
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange.
Something tells you that won't be any time soon. This'll have to be one of those epic tasks that's open for a while. A rifle. Revolutionary period. Your bullet looks to be... The 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. Incidentally, you have just such a rifle with you. The dusty old thing you found hidden in the basement below the commercial area. It's unusual. No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war, so there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around. Antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock bangers.
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay. And? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles. Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders. Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with...
Prohibiting peacetime law enforcement to front-loaded rifles is a policy enforced by the Moralist International in all the nations of the Real Belt.
Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on. But back to the investigation. Doesn't seem that likely, but we'll check out all possible leads. Next step, finding the...
In your hands, you hold 16 days of coldness. Indeed, the book is unusual. It would do that in Grad. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realize. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't. The back cover is dominated by a black... She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this in cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugo-Grad riots in the 20s. The Yugo-Grad riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief as ethnic tensions run wild. A pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? You've made the right life choices today, sir. That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade. Even today, half a century after, the star and antlers retains the ability to evoke hope, to symbolize the toppling. Also, some social democrats were already using. The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world, because white is the color of peace. Nothing at all yet. Right?
Trying to sneak up on me.
Kuno's like Kuno's dad? Kuno doesn't give a fuck about anything. Kuno does.
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked... Turning the crank feels oddly satisfying. Like it's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur. You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice... If you want to try again...
Equip the pry bar by...
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around... This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The This orange machine is dead still. This door is made of metal and appears number 28. This is where...
Let's see if anyone's home.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think we should return tonight after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9? The smoker on the balcony. This is why we are here, right? Tonight at 9 p.m. Right here. Apartment number 28. Good. Let's...
You hear some...
Give me a moment. Ask away, policeman. The hell am I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume. Some lunatic lost it.
With how small these rooms are, wouldn't you want to break the wall down?
People come and go.
They probably just moved or died. Hopefully somewhere else.
No one lives there. It's been empty for... Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house. Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, all... Oh, that one is a scientist. A future... I think he studies astrology at the community. Something to do with all those stars around his door. The symbol of what and how?
The cleaning lady shrugs and returns to sweeping. The clash of ideas and atrocities are as far from her world. She mumbles some kind of... You hear someone walking around in...
Excuse me?
There's no sweet talking your way in there. You have plenty of reason to enter.
Oh, come on.
Well, that was easy.
That was smart.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking...
Her voice is really cheerful, despite her...
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control, written under a nondescript municipal...
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place. It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make...
A sudden serious look crosses her
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you want? Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But a hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant...
The sum must have been puny.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, $1,000,000 I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom.
The radio computer wizards are invested with magical economic power. It's as if they're real wizards, able to resurrect dead real estate.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't... Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to fix it. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of course.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Yes, well.
Your statements are too vague to comment on.
Officer! God damn it. Pull yourself together, René. It's a Belle McGrave. 4.46. This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Well, I'm not surprised. There are probably lots of forgotten wartime. As for the rifle, I don't know what else to tell you. These BM-446s are an
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person.
Can I help you?
Another thing. Great.
Yes?
The man ponders his cooking utensil. He looks up, shrugging is an international. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple. The door does not. The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired.
This is the police.
Come on up. The door is open.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs. This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills. It's been used quite a lot. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid.
Anything of note? Anything of note?
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol. Histoperidol. Nacra. This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's used for diamorphine overdoses.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you? A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it. In sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what?
Preptide. A euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. The wind brushes them off the roof. The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
I don't know. It is not the first closed door we found in this building. I don't know. The further we get, the more this building... The vigilantes, the cadaver, and a number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. No, still a mini investigation.
It's barred from the inside. Sounds like it's heavy. Must be something valuable inside to go through the trouble of protecting it.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic...
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. It's much nicer now.
Where the dead body used to hang.
Thank you for that, officers.
There is something in her light brown eyes. A sadness. When she thinks about the death.
Oh, yes. Legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. A third place? Interesting.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 50.
Have I ever? This is the biggest fan of ostentatious Oh yeah. Life gets hard.
The chorus of the 35 single, megaphoning the entire human race, instills you with the fuck it all swagger that prompts one to plow into grannies on your morning stroll.
Wow.
I assure you, he's not about to tear it up in any style.
We'll show him. You'll tear it up all the style.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man that...
Huh. I see.
Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go, There, use words like, I hear you have been through something
Clausier Amandu.
Same name that Titus gave you. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Right, sir. Vredefort, Republic of Oranje. I guess you could... A bad memory.
The Republic of Oranje is a democratic nation on the Muindi Isola, north of here, over the sea and across the Pale. It is one of the 6 they will make you into a fiscal colony, divert your natural resources, hold patents and shares, but...
Of lilacs and lightning, parks, glass, duraluminum...
What's so bad about...
Nothing. If you're no longer there. I'm 28. Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All national literature.
What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters.
No. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world. That's the natural state of the Revacholian hero.
She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault. But, of course, what seems...
Nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit. Many things. A roller skating instructor,
It's the world's most tired smile. Of course she won a beauty pageant. She's very symmetrical.
I'm afraid you can't.
Why is that?
Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag at an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and air.
Thank you for your candor. Why?
They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Clausier Mondu.
She seems to be telling the truth, sire.
Look, officers, I like this place, but I don't want to be stuck wandering the city like a ghost after being robbed of my travel documents. I don't want to become an indentured servant in a brothel on Boogie Street.
There are plenty of other reasons for hiding your documents from the law.
It's also why
Why, yes.
I'm an unpopular girl. There are people back home who don't like me. The kind of hurry where you can't afford to not find your documents. But don't worry. This has nothing to do with your investigation. I would love to change the subject. It's not important. Unless I'm some kind of suspect. Phew.
Playfully. She doesn't seem to be overly distressed. Or distressed at all, really.
Okie dokie.
If any of this made her nervous, it certainly doesn't show in her expression or her movements.
The record. So official. Yeah.
No one likes to talk about their dirty laundry and their empty bottles. Maybe if you phrase it emotionally.
I'm wintering.
How long have you been?
About 4 months. I came in November.
The bills downstairs concur.
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? Because it's the funkiest building in Martinez. And because all the other buildings are bombed to hell. I'm
How long?
About 4.
The bills down.
Here in the Whirling, I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go.
She looks at you and nods.
I'm
How long?
About 4.
The bills down.
Here in the Whirling, here in I always wanted to see the only city in the world in the worst time of the year. It's a tourist thing.
This is by far not the only reason she's...
How long have you been staying?
About 4 months.
The bills...
Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here. Came to see the new world. It's a...
This is by far not the only reason she's here. She isn't overtly hiding.
It turned out to be a Zarath-infested third world.
Called Ilmara. And it didn't. Even after the Mesk colonized it 7 ways from Sunday, it's an
Yeah. I've contaminated it pretty bad. The contamination spreads from room to room. First, I escaped upstairs. The sad god. For me, it's a mix of me. Talk around the establishment is, you have an industrial sad spill in there.
Somewhere below, military-grade sad is dripping off the walls. You should say the first thing. It's honest. It will lead to introspection.
Cool. I think I'm developing a pinch of that, too. It hasn't done wonders to my taste in interior decoration. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
With money, sir. It's not exactly the anti-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs, he eventually mutated into a corpse.
Comes in handy when you've done too many.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments. Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, not being happy. It cures those ailments. Very funky. You tell me, officer. I've been trying to open it, in case the contamination gets to the roof and I... Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, tall and sparkling and draped in...
Something difficult? I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? By sexually assaulted, you mean raped?
Yes.
It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it?
She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered. She looks around. The sun has risen.
It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed I'm awake. Why am I? Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him.
By him, she must mean the victim.
Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges.
By they, she...
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Pretty much.
Warming them.
I'm 89% sure. You know how it is.
Do you?
Maybe you don't.
There are numerous cigarette burns on those silvery scales.
In conclusion, officer, I'm gonna go with a mild to medium not raped here. Serious.
You hear cracking in her...
Let me make this 100% clear then, officer. I was not sexually assaulted. We partied. With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Please, you're alive in 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14. What no one does on your level is hitting the repeat button. I'll give you that. And maybe room trashing.
What did you do when you partied?
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of it.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man.
She appears aloof, but that scar part, with longing.
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the roof.
You called us?
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Ravachol, miss.
Because I couldn't handle it anymore. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers. And I diverted some...
So, she's Scott's mystery foam cutter.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good cat.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too.
Thank you for making the...
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him.
I know it's difficult, miss.
She meant she sees him in her dream.
You have? Not like I do, I imagine. You don't want to know.
She dips the cigarette in the lighter's flame, and...
I can see the similarity, yes.
Funny.
Funny how?
Nothing. I also saw him. We had a long inspection, and that sort of thing sticks with you. Let's move on.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here.
And his role in the strike was?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military. Worked for Wild Pines.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theater craft here, sir.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't...
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie. They're frequent guests downstairs. They have a booth for union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. A little, yeah.
Like you partied with the...
No, not as...
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a...
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously.
Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him?
I hope not. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know? Men like that? I don't know. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me.
She breathes a silvery sigh of relief.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Why not? I'll be here until...
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next, smooth as ice. There are spots of mud and rain on the outside. Following your lead, the lieutenant leans in closer to inspect the surface.
Looks like it, yes.
You know which window has not been recently replaced? Yes, that one. Cold wind is seeping in right now. Just one floor below you.
Looks like it.
You know which window has not been recently replaced? I was being sarcastic. It was established that you...
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not... What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor with some facts thrown in draws attention. She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move.
It's you again. What is it? Again? Seriously, man. Fine. Yeah, whatever. Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about...
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his...
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the trauma...
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
She wasn't raped. The witnesses' statements were very...
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy. Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit.
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Frankly, someone has to rush in to break the tension.
Look, Copper. We know that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it and show it to him, T. What's the...
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me these soldier of the apocalypse.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters. A mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mig.
Now that is intriguing. You had me at door gunner.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen...
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and then...
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people.
Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer.
Yeah, like you have one. Smart ass. We have machines. We're in logistics.
Understood? You've listened in on their communication.
Since way before their chief started taking...
Things got nice and quiet after that.
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a...
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy. You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
The compact tape player is still... The machine was made in Revachol by a company called...
This would have been very helpful with the Megamix. But it isn't anymore. My kinema only comes with radio. Let's try to find a new tape player.